Hey guys, welcome to another tutorial. John Hartley here with you, and I'm not going to dilly-dally today. Let's get straight into this Star Wars opening title sequence. So I didn't do a Lucasfilm thing or anything like that, but I'll go ahead and get started with what I actually do have. So a long time ago in a tutorial far, far away. Now this text is Franklin Gothic book, and the Franklin Gothic family is pretty much what the entire opening sequence is based on. And so the color for that, give you a look here, is 4BD5EE, and kind of just a baby blue. I actually found that on some Star Wars fanboy site, and so you can actually find most of this text stuff there as well if I don't go over something well enough. So we're going to go ahead and make this fade out. We'll hop over to 2 seconds, turn on keyframe for opacity, and then bring it down to 0. So okay, that fades out and we have begun. So now what you need is the Star Wars logo. Now I found a vector image for this and made it a PNG to bring it in. That way we can get our stars background in later on. And if you want this file, let me know. I can post it on my website and give it to you for download. So we're gonna make it a 3D layer. And to start, we'll go ahead and turn on a keyframe for the Z, which is the third number. Bump it up to, or bring it down to negative 10,000. That's going to bring it off the screen. Then we'll go ahead and move forward, take it to 0, and there we go. It kind of flies on the screen there. And we'll go ahead 2 seconds. Actually, let's go ahead 3 seconds. And take it to 12,000. All right, so now it's starting to, it comes in like that, John Williams music plays, and it keeps going out. So it's 6 seconds. Hit T for opacity, create a keyframe, move up a little bit, and then take it down to 0. You want the Star Wars logo to still be moving backwards as it fades out. That way you get a nice smooth transition. Okay, so that's what we have so far. I'm going to go ahead and turn on my stars background. And I just found this online somewhere. I think it was from DeviantArt. And I'll show you what it started out as. And so it's very bright, and that's cool if that's what you want. But I kind of wanted it to be darkened, as in the actual title sequence. So I took brightness and contrast, and then brightness came down, but then you're getting kind of some colored stars, so I also brought the contrast down, and that'll kind of dull it out. And let's bring the brightness down even more, and contrast down a bit more as well. Okay, so that's looking pretty good. And so now we see that it's behind our long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, or tutorial far, far away. So let's hold shift and move up to this keyframe where it's done fading out. Then hit Command Shift D or Control Shift D, depending on what program or what type of computer you're using. And then it'll fade in like that. Okay, so let's go to the beginning of that fade out of the Star Wars logo. And I've already created my text for the opening titles. And what I did was, I'll go ahead and show you this for episode 12. That is Franklin Gothic medium, and if you have Franklin Gothic demi-bold, that's good too. You want it to look a little bolder than everything else, and that's kind of what I did here. So the first part, pretty self-explanatory. The actual title, the Tutorial Menace, I actually changed the vertical scaling for this and bumped it up from 100% to 255. So I'll show you 100%. It just looks like, that episode 12. And now when I go 255, all right, that's extended a little bit. And you can see that there's a major difference between those two. Then I created my second text, my story text, if you will. And that is right here. And in order to keep it kind of locked with this part, I actually took the pick whip for my second text layer and dragged it down to episode 12, and that creates a parent now. So here we go with that. So now whenever I move episode 12 around, the other text will move around with it, and that's what we want for this. So go ahead and drag it down to the bottom of your screen, or bottom of the composition, and let's see, right now it's not doing anything, it's just staying down there. So about part way through the Star Wars logo fading out, we're going to bring up, well, let's make it a 3D layer first for both of those parts, and then hit R for rotation, change the X rotation, and you can see it start to rotate down there. And we'll go ahead and make it 65. Make sure that it is at the bottom of the composition, about as wide as the composition. Then go ahead and hit A, create a keyframe, and then move forward to, I don't know, about 12 seconds. And adjust this second number. This is the Y axis for your anchor point. Now the anchor point is just changing, where this is all centered. And that's going to give you a nice look of it kind of going out of the screen. And keep going here until it's all the way out. And about right there. Now, one thing to mention here is that in the actual movies, it never goes off the top of the screen. It's always masked. So what I'm going to do, and there are probably several different ways to do this, is I'm going to duplicate my stars layer. And I'm going to bring it above that text. So now you see the text has disappeared. That's not what we want. But what you can do now is create your own mask on stars. And once you make that mask, then hit M, and we'll bring down all the mask options. We'll change feather. We'll bump it up to 100. And so now we can see that we're getting that kind of faded out look at the top. So that's looking more like the actual title sequence, which is good because that's what we want. Now I'm actually going to bring this mask down a little farther because we have it feathered so much. Okay, so now you can't see the text at the very top of the screen, which is good. Okay, so let's take a look at what we have so far. Long time ago in a tutorial far, far away. That fades out. Music starts, and then Star Wars comes in. And as it fades out, we get the episode number and the title and the description. And one thing I'm going to do here, because this is kind of bugging me, is I'm going to change the line height for all of this. It's usually a little more spread out in the movies, so go ahead and bump that down. Okay, so now we have that going off the screen, and then we're left with the starry sky. Now what should go with this? Well, I think some Star Destroyers should go with this. And I've gone ahead and pulled these off the internet, made them PNG files, and just kind of brought them in. Again, I parented them to this main one. We'll change that to main SD. So all of those, the two smaller ones are parented to the larger one. We're going to, as soon as that is all the way out, hit P for position, create a keyframe, move forward 2 seconds, and we'll just drag this bigger one over to here. And there we go. I don't know. You can kind of do whatever you want at this point. But now I'll go ahead and RAM preview, and we'll take a look at the final product. So we'll take a look at the final product here with RAM preview. That comes in, and everything is looking very, very fast. So this would be something that you can slow down for your actual opening sequence, but for this it kind of gets the point across and works for what we were using it for. So that is the Star Wars opening title tutorial. Again, if you want any of these files, let me know in the comments below and I will put them up on my website for you to download and make your own Star Wars sequence. Thanks for watching. Until next time, I'm John Hartley.